Okay, so y'all, I told myself that I was not going to post or make any videos more than maybe once or twice a week. But you know what? There are those some cases where you find a topic that you just got to jump right on top of because it's just that captivating, I guess you could say. So I happened to come across this video and I'm just I thought I was done talking about this whole gender stuff because when I first started my channel, I talked a lot about that because it's something that really bugged me. But I think that it's getting worse and worse, and it's something that still definitely needs to be talked about. And I will talk about it as much as I need to get my le two cent, I guess you could say, out there. So anytime I jump on top of something and I got my hillbilly plaid on and my Nike hat, that means that I just saw it and I had to jump on it. Okay, just so you know. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a little sneak peek at a portion of this clip, and we're gonna talk about this afterwards.
Photoshopped meme. And then I saw this video of the same individual in an actual high school shop class, and I thought it was a joke. It must have been one of the students dressed up in a Halloween costume. But no, this really is a high school shop teacher, and that really is how she dresses to come to work. I'm serious. I didn't believe it myself, but it really is an actual teacher at an actual school. Thankfully, not in the United States. This is in Oakville, Ontario, up in Canada, a city of about 200,000 people.
Now, among students, this has obviously been a topic of discussion, perhaps for some of concern in the school itself. Some of the students told me that there are some people who have been discussing this. Others say it's a non-issue, a non-factor. Here's what one grade 12 student had to say on his way in today.
I'm okay with it. I think it doesn't bother me, I know a couple of my friends are a little uncomfortable with it, but I think she should be able to express herself how she wants to.
And as you probably know, it is a violation of the terms of service on the big tech platforms to call a transgender person by the wrong pronouns intentionally. It's considered to be misgendering, a thought crime. And so henceforth, we will call this person a transgender woman. Be careful what you wish for, liberals, because this is now the poster woman of your movement. And of course, those things aren't breast implants. They don't make them anywhere close to that big. Those are prosthetics that this transgender woman must have purchased either at a Halloween store or most likely at some drag queen fetish website. Up there in Canada, it's a crime to insult this person or to accurately describe what's wrong with them, or to even say that there's anything wrong with them at all, because they don't have a First Amendment up there, and that's the same policy that the Democrat Marxists want to implement down here. This person should not be considered a transgender woman by any means. This is a transvestic fetish, a person with a fetish for transvestites, or what the clinical psychologists call autogynephilia. This person is obviously getting sexual arousal from what it is that they're doing, and obviously they're not doing it in an adult nightclub in some weirdo part of town. They're doing it in front of children. All they wanted was the right to get married, they said, but now they're carrying out their autogynephilic fantasies in front of children at drag queen story hour, and now in schools across Western society. Most of the liberal media industrial complex in the United States and Canada are ignoring this story, hoping that it just goes away. But
Okay, so I just wanted you guys to kind of get the context of the story behind it so that I didn't have to actually sit here and explain to you guys what it was. You can actually just see for yourself the ridiculousness, and you can actually see the individual who is showing up to school to teach children, high school kids, about woodshop. I've talked about this subject before, about this whole impersonation of women and how, our society is trying to blur the lines between the genders and trying to introduce topics that should not be introduced or should not be displayed to children or to adolescents without their parents' consent, how this is really a problem. And even though, obviously I'm in the United States, this takes place in Canada, okay, which is not that much different from the United States. I mean, we're not that much different as far as the way that things are kind of operating. This is troubling to say the least. I think at this point it's safe to say that a lot of this type of behavior, this type of charade and this type of display has gone way far beyond a mental health disorder like gender dysphoria or just transgenderism. I believe that those types of conditions are very unfortunate and that they do require some kind of psychological evaluation, some psychological help. But I think that when we're seeing this type of display of a man showing up pretending to be a woman or wanting to identify himself as a woman and going into our schools to teach our kids and to display themselves to our kids, I think that this represents a sick fetish. Like it's like a sick, like sexual fetish type of thing. And honestly, if a woman, a real woman, were to show up to school as a teacher with her breasts protruding and no bra and clearly being able to clearly see the imprint of a nipple, most people there would probably be somewhat of an uproar. There would probably be some superintendent being called, some teachers being cussed out. But because it's a man who is pretending to be a woman and proclaiming himself to be a transgender, because he's in a protected class where you're the one who's wrong for telling him that he can't display himself that way, instead of him being wrong for displaying himself in a sexual manner around children. You see where this is going? And I've been saying this, and I'm saying that the longer this is allowed, the longer that this is accepted, it's only going to get worse. This is an absolute disgrace. And like I said, y'all, this goes beyond just transgenderism. This goes beyond that. Like, this is an actual, this is a real, this looks like a fetish. Like, this looks like something hypersexualized, and it should not be on display around high school children. Would you want your boys or girls or whatever to be in a classroom where their teacher is basically displaying their breasts with their nipples out or their nipples showing? What he might as well go ahead and just put on a whole camel toe underwear and put on some biker shorts just to match the whole hypersexualized outfit. Why not? Why not just go the whole mile? Why don't just take half the mile, take the whole mile? Like, what is really the difference? And my thing is this: why is this a protected class? Why is pretending to be the opposite sex a protected class? What's up with that? Can somebody please just send me an explanation of why that's a protected class? Because I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something, because I really don't get it. I think we need to be protected from that protected class. I think our kids need to be protected from it. I think that people who have certain disorders need psychological help. They don't need enabling. They need psychological help. So anyways, y'all, I had to point that out, and I wanted to send you guys that story. I like to share information. That's all. And like I said, when I jump on here with my plaid, my hillbilly plaid, and my hat, that means I just kind of jumped on just at the last minute, basically, because I just had to talk about it right away. I couldn't just wait. I had to address it right away. So let me know what you guys think, and make sure you like and subscribe and do all that wonderful YouTube stuff that we all love. And I will see y'all next time. We'll talk about it in the comments.